Today we have wonderful guests. I'm super excited to speak with you guys. We have Mark and Tracie with CorKat Data Solutions. Thank you so much for joining us. And we have Tim with Great Divide out of Reno. Tim, thank you so much for joining us. This is your first time on live with us, and I kind of just caught you on a whim and just said, "Hey Tim, can you get on with us?" And fortunately, you were ready, and thank you so much, because
happy to help.
People are not willing to do that right off the just being called. So I appreciate it. So
well, how IT is, we kind of get up and deal. So you need help. And,
right.
We like the gang at CorKat quite a bit. So
wonderful. Well, thank you so much. So a couple of things I just wanted to talk about today was the times that we're in right now with COVID-19. I wanted to get your perspective, Mark and Tracie, on what you've been seeing with the trends and the challenges, and then also from your perspective, Tim, on what you've been seeing being on the MSP side of things, and where we think we're going to go with all of this. We were just having that conversation before we went live, but before we get into that discussion, Mark, this is your first time live with us. Usually it's Tracie and I. So how do you feel? You doing okay?
I'm just in case, though, we're prepared.
Waiting for it. Well, good. I wish I had one on my side too.
Yeah, I can't make any guarantees that this will go well, Brandi.
Well, it's very exciting. This is going to be a great video chat on Facebook. So let's go. So, Mark, you're here. Tracie, you're here. What are you guys seeing right now with what's going on your end, and how you're servicing MSPs? Is it different? Is it the same? Is it more? What's going on?
Yeah, I think for us, it's what we do is the same. I think it makes it much more relevant now, and it's easier for people to understand, where now you have a bigger group of, sometimes half or more of your workforce now is working remote. And who knows what device they have at home. So with a cloud solution, as long as they have an internet connection and the client on their machine, they can connect to their applications the same as if they're at work. So for a support standpoint on the MSP side, it's a little more challenging, because now we're trying to get them connected on who knows what at their house. But from the data center side or the hosted side, it's exactly the same. And it's just that much easier, where they don't have to VPN into a server in their back room and try to figure that out. Nothing really changes. Their desktop, everything's the same as what they're used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect.
And I think, Brandi, on the MSP side of our business, we know the user experience. We know what our end users are looking for from us. They want that seamless process. I mean, we're a business and a technology provider to their business, and we're essential to them to always be on and have availability to their data and connect to their teams. So since we see that from our MSP end user clients, we know that on the partnership side of our cloud side for our MSP partners, we know that they don't have any more time than we do to get something up and running and make it successful for their clients to get their work done. So I think that's the beauty of the partnership with CorKat. And Mark said, the always on mentality of cloud, but then understanding the problems that our clients are actually facing and pairing that with the proper solution has been, in a tough situation for us. This is just what we do every day. So it's actually just been, it's been good practice.
Right. And what I love about your product is that you're able to customize it per client, per client that's attached to the MSP, which is unusual in most cases. So I love that you're able to do that. And Tim, you're familiar with that. Tell us about your experience with CorKat and starting to how it's running now.
Well, we sent a tech to CharTec Academy. I had seen Mark present before, but it struck upon the tech that I sent. He's like, we should look at these guys. And I'm like, oh, I remember them. And I started looking at it. And we had been involved with other cloud providers for quite a while. We use OS 33. We had used Azure. And so kind of the vernacular I was more familiar with, and the costs and the pain and what you can do, what you can't do. And we started to devise a solution that involved those guys, where we bring more clients over there with kind of a terminal environment with our own firewall shipped up there, and set up either Reds or site-to-site VPNs. And we just incrementally started moving clients over there. Also for the dual purpose of standardizing everything, right? So if we have a cloud provider that's using Citrix and all this stuff, or Azure and different stuff, it's easier to support. So it kind of mirrored how we were hosting or supporting our local clients with on-premise solutions, but it's at CorKat. So it's easier to support. And so we just saw that and started giving more to them. And kind of talking about COVID, yeah, we're busy, but it's also been an impetus to continue moving these projects to CorKat, because when we come out of this, it'll be more efficient, and will be more cost effective, and it'll be easier support, and we had gotten the work done. So a lot of reasons to go that direction, and it's worked out nicely.
Good.
It's good to hear, Tim. I think, Brandi, too, Tim's been a great partner for us because he's been able to kind of rinse and repeat the process in so many ways. I mean, you mentioned early on that we're very customizable, and I think he's realized that as the benefit. So anytime he has a new prospect, he lets us know, kind of what their environment looks like now, how many users they are, the type of business, and we'll, kind of inch him in a direction. But he really knows exactly what he's doing. We're just there to be the cloud experts to just enhance his MSP and kind of help him through that process. If he ever needs any extra assistance, we're there. But for the most part, he's a great partner for us because he's just been able to take the same process per client, rinse and repeat. And now, I don't know how many clients you have, Tim, in the cloud total, but you have multiples at CorKat, and we appreciate that. Now we've gotten to know you, and working with you a lot more over the years has been great for us too.
Yeah, I would say I did write one thing down when I was asked to help over the weekend, and I can't find it, but it's kind of like the analogy of when you like something.
Why is it in the cloud?
when the minute I did the first gig with CorKat, I kind of knew that this was the right deal, and it's like from there, that's the right partner, and that's kind of where I can move on and think about other things that for the business, because I don't have to worry about that anymore. Now that's who we're going to use, because it just works that well, the arrangement and the techs that they have over there are phenomenal.
What was your initial process like to get your first client into CorKat? How did that work exactly?
It was accounting and QuickBooks and security, I believe. And the cost of doing it to extend our base with OS 33 versus giving these guys a shot, with the same gear that we use on site, Sophos equipment, and giving them a shot and giving them the opportunity. The cost savings were pretty significant, and the onboarding was a lot easier. And I think that was it. I think it was an accounting firm, and it's kind of an ideal. Many of these accounting firms don't want to be stuck to QuickBooks Online. They want flexibility because they have clients that have all sorts of versions of QuickBooks and things. They just need that variety, and so providing them a server, an application server with a number of apps for them to utilize the way they want is what we look at. And so putting it at CorKat was the opportunity instead of bringing a server on site.
What were you doing before CorKat that you noticed the benefits, the difference of benefits?
Well, OS 33. So we still partner with them, although we're kind of offboarding that. It's more expensive, and you have less access and more layers if there are issues. They have good engineers as well, but they have a process to get to them and work on stuff. And if it's more urgent, you still have to kind of go through those motions. We've done Azure, and if I had the same number of clients in Azure right now, I don't know how much I'd be spending, but it would be close to 50%, maybe more per month. But there's a lot of management that came with it. I had to I had to set up one book to turn off the resources at night to save money, and that shrinks your maintenance windows. And of course, there's support aspects of that, which are kind of a maze to get to. Engineers at Microsoft, where you got to pay them to do that. It just, that was not for us. And so this was an extension of what we do, because that's kind of how they behave. And being a CharTec partner, you have that, everyone's kind of family. And so you kind of look out for each other, and they're always there when you come calling. And so there's just so many layers that get removed, and none of them have anything to do with security. Security still is there, but it's just the way that we like to do business is kind of aligned with how they do it.
Good. That's wonderful.
So Tim, thanks for that. It's wonderful to hear that the ideas that we have. We brought our MSP clients that we manage to the cloud. That's why we created CorKat, and we wanted to create it just for the reasons that you said. Is for we wanted to create it for other MSPs to be able to replicate what we've done with our MSP clients, and it's very exciting to hear that that's worked well for you. I mean, that's the goal, right?
Yep. We're very happy.
Great, and we're glad to have you as a partner, and it's been a phenomenal partnership with CharTec as well. It's worked well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned earlier, Tim and Brandi, we're able to be pretty nimble. I think that's important for our small business as well. So we're adapting to technology and to our partners every day and what's beneficial to them. And that's the kind of beauty of who we are. We're more boutique. We're more of a family. We want the right solution for you, not the most expensive or what makes us the most money. I mean, we're a true hosted environment built for success of our MSP partners. So the ability to kind of change up when a COVID-19 happens, or any kind of other scenario that we're all experiencing, the beauty of partnering with CorKat is the flexibility that you have, the scalability that you have. And when you call CorKat, you more than likely talk to one of the 19 of us, and we've probably met you before. And that's just, to me, one of the most important things. When I'm out traveling and talking about CorKat, I see that as a big differentiator. And particularly commodity cloud, if I call and I'm looking for some support, I can't ever get anybody on the phone. And when I do, it's someone who's not speaking my language, or I'm on hold forever, and then they're probably charging me for their time. So we're not like that here at CorKat. We're more about the experience and making sure you get the right solution, and that we build a relationship with our partners.
And we thank you so much for being here, because I even see it when I'm out there in the vendor showcase room or walking around. You guys are so personable and so involved with everybody here, and it's refreshing. You're friendly. You talk to everybody. Everybody just wants to hang out at your table, which is cool. It's a cool table. Or is it the alcohol?
Maybe.
But no, and it is like we're like a family, and I truly feel that way. Absolutely, 100%. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. One of the other things that I wanted to just touch on, because your product is so customizable, with all of the changes that are happening right now with COVID-19 and the possibility of everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people staying remote and maybe just branching off and continuing to do that. Your product you're able to just increase or just decrease at any time or any given moment, correct?
Yeah,
it's very easy.
That's the beauty of it, right? So you don't buy a server or a group of servers and hope to grow into, but not out of them in the next 3 to 5 years. You have available exactly what you need today, whether it's more or less tomorrow. We can scale it up or down based on whatever you need. So if it doesn't matter at all if they're working from a central office or remotely, because it's we license through Microsoft just per user, right? So it doesn't matter where they're accessing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like that with us all the time, not just when there's, a workforce pandemic. But I think it's important to note that, we don't have packages that we expect for our partners to fit into one way or another. We don't have minimums or partnership fees. It's not meant to be binding and to have a bunch of red tape. It's meant to be created and custom fit for each one of our partners and each one of their clients. So if they have one client that needs a large enterprise cloud, we're capable of that. But if they have small clients that Tim was talking about, and it's more of a hosted QuickBooks, and we're just transferring that from a physical to a virtual environment, that's okay too. You know, the flexibility of it is meant to be customizable to each different scenario, because not all cloud providers are equal and not all clouds are created equal. So they should be robust for each one of your clients' needs.
Right. Tim, you had mentioned earlier before I called that you were able to get really creative, and you started to see the creative aspect with CorKat. What can you give me an example of that?
Well, some of their engineers are passionate, which is great because we are too. And you know, Tim in particular will, you know, we'll just chat about, you know, how we're doing things, and he's very familiar with the stack that we use. And it's kind of the stack that is partnered with CharTec, right? And so those technologies are huge from an implementation side. For example, you know, I'm a fan of the one-to-one aspect of clients where we'll ship a firewall and that'll be for that client. There are situations where we have bigger units up there and they'll VLAN out to a couple of clients. But the one-to-one aspect is neat, and being able to swing data to the data center. We've done it in some interesting ways, and then getting people to the data via usually a RED or site-to-site VPN. All those things make it so easy to deploy, and there's really excellent technology. As you know, the XGs, they're just phenomenal, and the reporting is second to none, and they just get better and better. And so it's exciting to be doing this because you can't really do that. You know, I've built XGs in Azure, and it's expensive, but working with a partner who shares that passion, where you know migrations are a big part of it and the success of it and how it goes. And so, you know, they can be bumpy, but we've had really good luck, and so we learn each time Tim and I do one. We'll move on to the next one, and we have, like you said, kind of that process, and it is cool to build that out because it gets quicker each time. You know, paying attention to your checklist, of course, but it is phenomenal to have the right technology stack to implement it. You know, that's the firewall, that's getting the data there, and you know, and the cutover and the process and all that, and that has been really enjoyable to do with you guys because Tim's pretty passionate about it, as I am, and so that makes it fun, you know, and so he cares, and I appreciate that. And so, you know, I don't think we're anywhere near some of the more sizable CharTec partners or partners that you guys have, but you guys treat us as such, and I appreciate that. So,
Thank you. Thank you. And I think that you said a key word is that they care, and that is the biggest difference, is being able to have that level of support. Because they truly are passionate, because they do care. It makes things so much easier when you are transitioning from one service to another, and being able to talk to somebody and being able for them to be on the phone with you and guide you through what you need to do, instead of just saying, here you go, figure it out and call us when you have a problem. I think that's a huge benefit for everybody all the way around. Because not only is Tim providing the right solution for your client and helping you out, making things easier for you, but then you're also providing the right solution for your clients. So it's just a domino effect. So to have that passion is really important.
Yeah.
Great, guys.
Tim knows that, you know, you guys are Sophos partners, so you know, I'll securely send him the credentials for the firewall, and he'll get it going after racking it and get, you know, everything networked as it should be, and then, you know, here you're up, and then I'll go in and customize things. But that's really huge because he knows those technologies and he's good at what he does. So that makes the onboarding that much easier.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we are a platinum Sophos partner, and we're proud of that. We've got a lot of partnerships that Mark and Kevin have taken a lot of time to decide who we partner with and why, and what tools are successful to us. So obviously, we're very supportive of Sophos. That's what our data center consists of for our security and our MSP. But you bring up a fair point in that you probably couldn't do that with a lot of other cloud providers. That's a benefit to partnering with a private tier 3 data center such as ourselves, as we allow that co-location of hardware. We have some clients similar to Great Divide I.T that actually colo some backup devices as well through Datto. So maybe they want some more robust user ability and access to those backups. So we partner with a lot of MSPs that are providing some of their own hardware that they're comfortable with. So it's not just what we're comfortable managing, it's what you're comfortable managing. And we make it work for us to make sure it's set up correctly, configured correctly, and then stored in a secure environment.
Yep.
You know, I think that's important for people to understand, is that's the flexibility that we want to be able to bring as an offering, right? So if you need to co-locate something, we can do that. If you need one server, or if you need 100 servers, it doesn't, or anything in between, right? We're here to help you guys in any way that you need. You know, we look at each individual opportunity within the cloud, just like we would an MSP. So we do a discovery to figure out what it is that they're trying to produce for their client, so that we can make sure that we get them the right solution.
How long does your discovery last, not on an average?
It depends on the MSP. So if you're someone like Tim, who's very involved and has a good idea of what his clients need already, it's a couple of hours just kind of specking it out. But we do have MSP partners that are not as comfortable. They've gone from selling on-prem servers. So a lot of times when they're speccing out a virtual server, it's not quite the right resources. They're just used to on-prem servers. So those take a little more time, but we ask the same types of questions. What are the end goals for this virtual environment for your client? How many of them are there? What line of business applications are they running? We're asking a lot of the same questions in a traditional discovery. We follow the CharTec process on the cloud side of our business as well. So it's just a lot of asking questions to seek to understand.
Yeah, it's very important for us to get it right for the MSPs. We want to make sure that they have the right solution so that they're successful. And just like in Tim's case, success breeds more success. So our goal is to bring on their first one, and then for that to be able to replicate that to the rest of their clients. Our MSP, we probably have 98% of all of our clients are fully hosted. And that's our goal, is to be able to help other MSPs get to that same place.
Perfect. That's really great. And so, and moving forward with the rapid changes that are happening, what do you foresee with CorKat as far as those changes are concerned? I mean, I would imagine you're obviously going to grow with them, but what do you think that's going to happen with everything that's happening with COVID? We're going to open up soon. You're going to get busier.
I think we'll continue to get busier, because as people went through this that weren't either familiar with or understood the cloud, this made it very apparent that that's the direction that they need to move, right? So I anticipate, we've seen an uptick to some degree now, but I think the people that once we get through to whatever the new normal is going to be, I anticipate us to, and other MSPs to grow the cloud business exponentially.
Right. I've been seeing that too.
I'm sorry. If you look at the bulk of the businesses that probably aren't in the cloud yet, are the small and mediums, and those that survive and go on. I think if MSPs aren't providing a private cloud solution now, they're going to have to be able to do that in the future.
Right. I agree. And most of the people that I've been talking to who are working from home, that weren't working from home, are already discussing continuing to work from home, whether it be 2 days a week or 3 days a week, but they're going to still continue to do that. And this is in all types of businesses. So it's just interesting to see that the productivity is there, and our MSPs are continuing to stay busy, which is really, really positive. And it's going to be an interesting times.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of technology, right? Is anywhere, anytime access. We've talked about it for years, but I think now a large number of people actually understand what that means, because they all had to do it. Look at all the moms and the dads that are trying to help with homeschooling and pulling their hair out and turning into alcoholics or whatever they got to do to get through. Everybody has a new appreciation of the things that we've been trying to steer them through for years.
And I don't think a lot of those businesses really knew what they were getting involved with when they decided to try to get their employees to go remote. I think they thought it was going to be some simple task, and then quickly realized that they needed an MSP like Tim, or they needed all of these solutions, not kind of thinking, oh, I'm just going to give my employee a laptop and they'll be on their way. And it's definitely much more involved than that. So it's been interesting to see that as well. Have you seen that as well, Tim, with some of your clients, that maybe they were getting their employees to go remote and not really realizing how much they needed you to help them with that? Or did they just call you right away and say, Tim, I need your help?
I think they appreciated us a little bit more because we had something ready to go. And thankfully we had the whole Screen Connect set up with, MFA documented, like maybe 6 months beforehand. We had it down. Having to create that on the fly might have been a little slower. So we were able to deploy clients pretty easily with the lowest level employee, so to speak, that made it easier for everyone to be able to work and make them, enable them to have remote access.
Right. Are you seeing new clients come in? Are you getting new calls? Or are you just working on current clients right now?
There was an old wine bottle that got turned the other day, a client that kind of pops their head in every year or two. They're interested again. I don't know how serious to take that. It's been there's a little bit, but it's been a lot of the day-to-day, and then just doing as many internal projects and internal process improvements as we can during this period, so that we're a little bit leaner and more efficient if and when we ever get out of this. We will, but I wouldn't say that I'm rolling a hot hand right now. I think that may come, but that's not a concern. It's really more about enabling with your existing clients, and we love them and we want to pay attention to them extra hard. I mean, I've told them, a number of clients on more than one occasion, call whatever time. It's fine. I may miss the call, but you can call anytime. There's no business hours, and it's too crazy right now. So we just try to be more of a partner than ever.
Right, and it's really great to hear that CorKat is helping you with this craziness and bringing down the craziness with the solution. So that's really really refreshing.
No, it's been interesting not going on site and doing these migrations. That's the risk, right? Oh, could something go wrong and I gotta go on site, but that's what we do. So we just hopefully we do it right and we swing them over to the cloud, and if we have to go on site, we will. But we had good success so far during this period.
Cool. So Tracie, Mark, how does one get a hold of you if they're interested in your product?
So you can reach us by phone if you'd like. We can be reached at 970-776-3777, or of course you can go to our website, www.corkatdata.com. CorKat spelled a little bit funny. It's CORKAT data.com.
Perfect.
Yeah,
We'll put that in the comment section
next week too.
That's right.
Yeah, we have Virtual Academy next week, and you guys got some sessions going on. Are you ready for that yet?
Yeah.
Good. Wonderful.
Maybe.
Yeah, Tim, are you going to be going to our Virtual Academy? Did you register?
I did. Yeah, no, I'm sending a tech there.
Good. Okay, good.
Sending a tech to pay attention to one thing and not everything else for that week.
Right.
Hopefully that'll work. I'm interested to hear how it goes. He's new, so they always come back kind of pie-eyed and fired up after these events, and so that's always a kick. And who knows what he'll bring back to the table. Like, I had sent another engineer, and he reminded me about CorKat, which was really, really valuable, and maybe that will happen again with something else. So.
Very cool. And it's a little different this time around. Every day is going to be segmented off into certain training sessions. So there's going to be 3 hours dedicated to sales. There's going to be a couple of hours to marketing, and then an hour or two to HR, and then operations. And then we'll have our breakouts in between. And then we're going to have some cool games to play too that CorKat is sponsoring. So we'll have some virtual games and giveaways, and that'll be fun. But every day is going to have some training involved. So it is going to be, it's sort of to help our MSPs and people who have registered send the appropriate staff to watch instead of having to kind of struggle and go bounce back and forth. So we hope that you enjoy it. And that's May 11th through the 15th. And the link to register is in the comments. And I'll also put your guys' contact information as soon as our video is over. Tim, thank you so much for joining us on such last minute. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nice to see everybody.
Yes, it's great.
Nice to see you too. And then we'll see you guys next week, right? We're gonna have some fun next week already. Gosh, it's coming so fast.
Yeah, I have to do this week.
Yeah,
What
we're
happened
this kind of opportunity to pivot
sure.
kind of how we present CorKat. We're actually opening our doors and doing some data center tours and introducing some of the members that we've seen for years, introducing them to the other teammates of ours that they've just probably never met before. So we actually are embracing this time to pivot and change what we talk about, and we're really excited about it. So
Yeah,
That's
I'm excited that we're going to get a couple more of our staff involved that normally we wouldn't be able to take out because we can't afford to have, we already bring 3 or 4 people as it is now, but this gives us an opportunity to at least get them all some exposure to academies so that they understand what it is that we're working on.
yeah.
That's going to be great. I look forward to seeing that, definitely. Well, anything else you guys want to add before we go? We didn't get any questions yet, but we do have a lot of watchers. You want to say hi to Emily, Roger,
Hi,
Eric is
Emily.
watching, Crystal's watching, Alex is watching,
Hi,
Jelly is watching, Scott Barlow is watching.
Scott.
Yeah, so we have quite a few watchers. We must have done our job right without no questions. We must have put it out there.
Well, we'll talk
Big
about
Barlow
CorKat
right
all
there.
day. Yeah.
Nice.
So let us know. We're here to help.
All right.
Wonderful. And then if you have any questions that you still want to ask, we're going to be watching the thread. So please feel free to get on there and type in a question as you're watching this video. They're not going to go unnoticed. And we'll be on there checking them out and answering. I'll make sure to tag you guys if you're not available, because I'm always watching. So thank you, Tim. Thank you again for joining us. And
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Brandi. Have a great day.
Bye, Tracy.
Bye. It's good to see you
Have a
guys.
nice day. You too.
thank you.